that is the depth of his commitment, that those individuals who were certainly down on their luck had something to contribute to the world. We are attempting to continue Gary's legacy in the opposite direction, of course, that our youth have so much potential, and they are really just kind of coming into their own. And so this is a way for us to continue Gary's legacy. And so welcome everyone to the first annual Gary Hildebrand Memorial Youth Speech Contest. I will now pass control of the meeting to our Toastmaster, Jim Marquardt.
Thank you very much, Acting President Roy. Appreciate everybody showing up today. I know when you're retired, it's tough. I almost lost my way here. However, I had the GPS and it was going to send me somewhere else, but all I had to put in was gambling. It sent me right here. It's good to see everybody in Zoom land and people here in the audience. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can't say that enough. Without you, we wouldn't have a meeting. Our Zoom master today is Julianne Marquardt. So if everybody wants to give her a hand, you can do this, or you can clap your hands, whatever the case might be. Again, as Roy said, our contest chairperson couldn't make it today. Our chief judge is Ed Keeney. And Ed, have the judges been verified?
No, sir, I don't have all of them signed in yet.
Boy, you just like to make things tough for me. Let's go on, and I'll come back to you and ask the same question. I don't like to be redundant, but sometimes it does happen. But thank goodness my name wasn't named redundant. Timer. Is the timer ready?
Yes.
And been taught how to, or instructed on how to run the timer.
Can we show the people?
Can we show the people? Was that was a question?
The kids.
Can we advance the light, or is it set?
There's a demo mode. There's a demo
Oh, okay.
There's a
right.
All right.
Let's figure out the demo mode. I will work on that because I did not instruct Holly in the demo mode.
So we want to show the contestants how the timer works. And when you're showing them, explain to them what green, yellow, and red means at the same time. And while
that's green, that's yellow, that's red.
So when you go up to the lectern and you start speaking, I will start the timer. And when it gets to 4 minutes, then it'll go green. So then you're good. When it goes to 5 minutes, yellow, and that's a signal that you should complete your speech within the next minute. When it gets to 6 minutes, it'll go red, and you want to stop before it goes red.
And I believe when they have 30 seconds to wrap it up, they can do 6 minutes, or is it 4 to 6 minutes?
Yes.
Then they have 30 seconds to wrap it up once you see the red, you have 30 seconds to wrap up. And then
After that 30 seconds. And there will be no, once it hits red, there will be no additional notification of you're approaching that 30-second leeway or something. So the only notice that you will see is green at 4 minutes, yellow at 5 minutes, or red at 6 minutes.
What happens if you finish the speech while it's like red?
Then you hope that you finished it
within the 30 seconds.
Within the 30-second leeway.
All right, any other questions from our contestants? And just to let you know, during the regular speech, you will both stay in here, but at table topics, yes.
Mary Kathleen would like to judge if Ed needs another judge. Does that work for you, Ed?
Yeah. Ed, did you hear the question about Mary being a judge?
Say again, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my other judges in.
We were wondering if it'd be all right if Mary was a judge. If
Mary who?
That's Mary Half Moon.
Mary Half Moon.
Oh. How long's she been in?
Long enough. She's
Long enough.
8
Okay.
years.
8 years. 8 years.
Okay. Yeah, send her to me.
Yeah, we'll have to find a way for her to get to the breakout room.
Let's go out.
Okay.
Can you send us out?
Jim, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to try to get all the judges together.
Okay, that's all right. Hey, in Toastmasters, we learn to adapt, adjust, and improvise.
So you're doing international speech and what's the other one?
We're doing table topics.
No,
Oh,
icebreaker.
Oh,
Yeah,
ice-
It's 4 to 6 minutes.
Okay, yes, icebreaker, 4 to 6 minutes.
And that's it?
That's it.
Okay, well, Jan mentioned something about table topics.
I think she might have misspoke.
Oh, okay, okay, so we're just doing the icebreaker. We're doing
All right.
icebreaker.
All right,
Okay.
put me and the
All right.
judges separate. And we'll get you going here, sorry.
That's all right. Like I said, if you've ever watched Heartbreak Bridge, you learn to adjust, adapt, and improvise. And so the judges should be going into their own little room. And our timer knows what is going on. That's good. That's really good. And we want to thank everybody who did give their
Darlene, could you
time.
just add Keeney, please? And
Okay, someone broke up.
can't hear you.
Who just talked to me?
Yeah, can you send Jan to Ed Keeney's room
Oh,
Yes,
for Mary to get briefed?
that'll work. Yes, that'll work.
and
So Sergeant at Arms, both speakers are gonna stay inside. Okay? We usually have a joke here, but I have one for you, and maybe Roy's gonna find another one to kill a little time. Is how come, now that I thought of the joke, I'm trying to think that I want to get the right punchline. I remember. How come cows wear bells? How come cows wear bells?
So you can find them.
That's close. Any other thoughts on why cows wear bells? All right, time's up. Because their horns don't work. I know that was, well, that's no worse than why did the chicken cross the road? You know why the chicken crossed the road?
to get to
Any
the other
guesses?
side.
Any guesses? Okay, nobody had the answer?
No.
Because Colonel Sanders was chasing them. You know, the thing about it is, you don't always make it as a comedian, and that happens. But the best thing about being a comedian is you get free food. Many times, I was starving to death as a comedian, and when I told a bad joke, I got potatoes, I got tomatoes, I got cucumbers, a salad. And I was fortunate enough that they didn't hit me in the head so I could remember this more jokes. Roy, come on up here and tell us a few jokes.
Hey, given that the Pendleton Roundup is coming up, I thought we might have some cowboy themed jokes. The doctor says to the cowboy, "Ever have an accident?" Cowboy, "No, sir." Doctor, "Never in your whole life?" Cowboy, "Well, on the last roundup, a bull charged and broke 3 of my ribs." Doctor, "Don't you call that an accident?" Cowboy, "No, doc, the bull did it on purpose." What happened when the horse swallowed $1? It bucked. I know, these are pretty terrible. Okay. This one isn't bad. What sickness do cowboys get from riding wild horses?
Cow disease,
Oh,
motion sickness.
think of the mascot for the Pendleton High School. Oh, maybe I was wrong. They're not broncs. No, they're bucks, aren't they? It's bronchitis. That's pretty good. Okay, one last one. What happened after the cowboy drank 8 Cokes? He burped 7 up.
Thank you, Roy, for entertaining us, although, even though the entertainment was okay. Hey, the thing about Toastmasters, beggars can't be choosers.
Right.
And we have to fill in where we can to make sure that you, as Toastmasters, do not feel like you're wasting your time. Every time I attend a Toastmaster meeting, I always learn something new. And especially with the word of the day. And too bad we didn't have the word of the day. No one gave us the word of the day, did they? Our Sergeant at Arms, I think it's important to introduce everybody. Our Sergeant at Arms today is Lee. A round of applause for Lee.
Yay, Lee.
Thank you very much. And it's,
There she is,
yeah,
everybody.
yes. Okay. What else can I say? I'm usually good at filling up time. That's what Darlene said. In fact, it's unbelievable. When I was speaking the other day, she says, there's not enough words to say in the time that you have to give your speech. Now, did that make any sense? Oh, someone said no, they must be listening to me. My speech the other day was about spraying weeds. And you can pick any topic, and I want to quote Ed Keeney, and he said, quote, "Everyone should have a pocket speech, because there's times that you never know when you might be surprised and you have to say a few words out about an individual." And I think of what Will Rogers said. He never met a person he didn't like. You know what that tells me? There's a lot of people he didn't meet, but he always had a positive attitude. Another thing about Toastmasters that's really important is if you should ever go to a Dale Carnegie course, if you should ever be able to attend and spend over $500 nowadays to attend one of his courses, at the end of their course, they will tell you to join a local Toastmasters club.
Just skip to that part.
Are we ready?
No, just skip to the part where they say, join the Toastmaster Club, and then save the $500.
Yeah, you should do that. Are we ready, Jan? Are we ready? Almost. Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. And it's funny because when I was in law enforcement and I had to cuff someone, the first thing we always asked the person is, do you have any weapons? Do you have any horseshoes? Do you have any hand grenades? That was a common 3 things we always ask them. And I couldn't tell you where that came from. But it's always the questions I always ask. Do you have any weapons? Do you have any horseshoes? Do you have any hand grenades? Being in cowboy country, it's a good possibility of someone having a horseshoe on him. All right, and our ballot counter today is Jen Taylor. I'm introducing everybody. I'm doing that right now to kill some time. All right, it appears, Chief Judge, have the judges been briefed?
They have, sir.
Thank you very much. Contestant chair, have the contestants been briefed? Aren't you, Jan? Aren't you the contestant chair for right now?
Yes,
Have the contestants been briefed?
Yes, they have.
Timer. Is everything working as a timer?
Yes, it is.
You understand? Thank you very much. Now it's time to hear our speakers. And the speakers they had to draw on what position they were going to speak first. How can I be a good American? Roy, how can I be a good American?
How can I be a good American? How can I be a good American? How can I be a good American? I ponder on this question. First, what does it mean to be an American? America is often used as an abbreviation for the United States of America. To be an American means to be a citizen and or stakeholder in the progress and vision of the United States. Next, what does it mean to be good? I believe that to be a good community member means to actively contribute for the well-being of the community. President John F. Kennedy declared, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." This provides a roadmap for how I can be a good American and contribute to my community. Good Americans remember the lessons of the past, work hard in the present, and look to leave a better nation for future generations. I can be a good American by remembering the lessons of the past. The United States has a rich history full of great patriots who together forged a new democracy. I volunteer for my county's historical society. We have a museum with fascinating exhibits of pioneer life. The stories of our pioneer forefathers inspire me and help to bring the American dream to life. If those that came before us built so much from relatively little, then imagine what we can achieve. Some of those lessons of the past involve vowing to never forget and never again allow some of the errors of the past to be repeated. It is often said that those who forget history will be doomed to repeat it. Over time, our country has expanded its vision of equality and natural rights for all. Let us go forward together, inspired by the dreams and sacrifices of those that came before us, but also determined not to repeat some of their mistakes. I can be a good American by working hard in the present. The present moment is a razor's edge between what has gone before and what is yet to come. It is up to us to build the bridge that connects the two. My current work volunteering for the Historical Society has taught me many lessons. I know that our ancestors didn't have anything handed to them, but rather tamed the wilderness through sweat and tears. I likewise will work hard through community service, the pursuit of an education, and helping in my family to support and strengthen my community. I can be a good American by seeking to leave a better nation for future generations. As I look through our history, I am amazed at the wonderful progress that we have made. Our nation is now more inclusive and equal than at any other time in our history. Now is the time to build even further upon this work for the sake of those that will come after us. To my young mind, we seem pretty divided right now. I only hope that we can be reminded that what we share in common is far greater than our differences. We all love our country and want it to better live up to the promises made in the preamble of the Declaration of Independence, that all men are created equal and endowed with unalienable rights that include life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. As President John F. Kennedy reminded us, the selfish desires of what's in it for me will not strengthen our country. It is in the selfless acts of helping others and building for the greater good that everyone benefits. I will serve my country by remembering the lessons of the past, working hard in the present, and continuing to improve the nation for future generations. How can I be a good American? How can you? Thank you.
Madam Timer, can we have a minute of silence, please?
Is that a minute?
Minutes up, right? Madam Timer, thank you very much. Our next speaker, Julianne, honoring a legacy, Julianne.
Seven-year-old Anna Christina peered over the railing of the clipper ship to steal one last look at her Spanish homeland. The buildings of the port were already so small, and she could no longer make out the people who were so busily going about their day. Anna swallowed hard to keep the tears from welling up. She turned around and gazed at the glimmering, endless ocean and imagined what her new life would bring. Anna and her family emigrated from Spain to the United States in 1861. From that day, when Anna's family left their home, it would take 42 days of sea voyage before they would lay eyes upon their new homeland when they sailed into New York Harbor. The Statue of Liberty did not greet them that day because it would not be unveiled for another 25 years. Anna and her family found themselves in a strange city, in a strange land that spoke a language they could not understand. Their journey was also not yet complete. From New York City, Anna traveled by train and steamboat to the edge of the American frontier, and then took covered wagons drawn by ox teams across the plains before they finally found rest in the western United States. Anna is a pioneer in every sense of the word. She's also my great-great-great-grandmother. As I have studied her life, I have been inspired by the courage and sense of adventure that Anna displayed on her journey. This summer, I had the privilege of visiting Spain on a school trip. I retraced the steps in reverse that Anna first made over 150 years ago. Those same shores that Anna mournfully left, I entered with unrestrained excitement. I visited many wonderful cathedrals and marveled at incredible works of art. My group spent half a day at the Prado Museum. Every room they had was filled to the brim with paintings and sculptures, as well as information about the aforementioned pieces. You don't have to go to a museum to find spectacular art in Spain, though. You can also see them while just walking down the street. I saw tons of lifelike statues sculpted into the walls and buildings on every corner. Everywhere I turned, there was some miraculous sight. One day, my group was lucky enough to explore a place my ancestor would never have dreamed of seeing, the Royal Palace. The Spanish royal family doesn't live there anymore, so they turned it into a museum. The royal family's quarters were stunning. The wallpaper had gold patterns that would intertwine with another color depending on that room's theme. Every room was spacious and seemed to have real silk curtains or accents on the furniture. There were also some fun-themed rooms as well, including one room that was made entirely out of porcelain. Even though this room was built with such delicate material, it was still filled with porcelain statues or decorations that were built into the walls and ceiling. Seeing the porcelain room was an amazing experience, but the whole time I was scared I would accidentally crack something. Another regal building I was able to visit was the Sevilla Cathedral and connecting tower, La Giralda. It was furnished with statues representing Bible stories and important religious characters. All of them were encased in silver or gold. It truly was an astonishing sight. Despite the cathedral's beauty, the highlight of my trip was visiting La Sagrada Familia, which is a building my ancestors would never have laid eyes upon, considering its construction started in 1882. The project was later given to architect Antoni Gaudí in 1914, and he worked on it until his death in 1926. The dedicated team continued building, but then had to stop indefinitely because of the Spanish Civil War. Gaudí's original plans were destroyed in the fire caused by the war, but some of his notes and pieces of scale models were recovered. Using these notes and pieces, construction on La Sagrada Familia has restarted. We will never truly know Gaudí's plan through the entire building, but the construction workers tried to stay as close to his vision as possible, and the outcome is absolutely spectacular. Giant stained glass windows bathe the corridor in 1,000 colors and give it an ethereal glow. The white futuristic columns are the perfect backdrop for the rainbow of colors that dance over them. Construction is planned to finally be finished in 2026, nearly 144 years after the first brick was laid. I wish with all my heart that I will be able to visit La Sagrada Familia again after it is completed. Though my trip was relatively short, the experience will last a lifetime. I gained a new understanding and appreciation for different worldviews and ways of doing things. I walked down the cobblestone streets and wonder at the rich history that saturated every corner. This journey expanded my world and broadened my understanding of my relationship to the past and global present. The great-great-great-granddaughter of Anna Christina finally visited home and already can't wait to go back. Thank you.
I believe we need 2 minutes of silence, please, or until the judges can email the ballot counter. Yes.
Mr. Toastmaster said,
Yes.
what was the first speaker's name, please?
Roy. R-O-Y.
Thank you.
hands is up.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Start talking.
Oh, good. Hey, that's the first time I've ever been given permission to start talking. Keep that in mind. There's always a first for everything. Want to thank, I should say I want to thank Wild Horse Resort for the prizes that they are giving out today. Am I correct, Roy?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Wild Horse Resorts. It takes a lot to run a contest. It really does. And if we didn't have volunteers, we wouldn't have a contest. We wouldn't have Toastmasters. Toastmasters is a volunteer organization. Excuse me. That screen is right now. That table's right in the way where I can't see everybody. I know everybody can see me, but I don't like the fact that I can't see everybody else. Boy, we're all quiet today. I'm surprised. Usually women in the group, everybody wants to talk. Yes. So let's bring up our two contestants. And if you notice, contestants, the people on Zoom, they shake this way because you can't hear. Go ahead and you can, yes, both of you. Okay, we'll do, if you'll step on the other side, Roy, we'll have the lady go first. Doesn't matter, you're both taller than I am. Julianne, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you go to school, and what made you want to, we know you want to join Toastmasters, I had ESP, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
Alright, so I'm Julianne. I go to Pendleton High School. I'm involved in multiple school clubs, Communicare and FCCLA. This year I'm hoping to also maybe enter a speech contest in the FCCLA program, but we'll see how that turns out since the contest is probably going to be later this year. I don't really know what else to say.
Your job.
Yes.
Yeah, I did recently get a job at the Wild Horse Bowling Center since they lowered the age in some places to work at, and it's been really fun to work here at a lot of us.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'm gonna step over there while we listen from Roy. Roy, tell us a little bit about yourself. Go ahead.
I'm Roy. I'm homeschooled through Baker Charter School, and it worked out really well for me because during the pandemic when they shut schools down, I still got to go to school and learn stuff, so that's great. I want to do Toastmasters.
And what grade are you in? What grade are you in?
I'm in 8th grade.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote the How to Be a Good American speech because I wanted to, well, it seemed like a good topic, you know, for a speech.
Okay, you play sports?
No, I don't really do any of
How
that.
about chess?
Chess has always been kind of complicated for me to figure out how to do it. Play chess sometimes, but not all the time. People that play chess a lot.
I always like a contestant I can beat. I play chess online, and right now I'm playing 8 games, so that's something to think about. Thank you, Roy. You have certificates for me? Did we have certificates for him?
Yep.
For participating certificates, I think it's really important to.
Yes.
We do have them. They're not filled out yet, but we'll get you back up here. We'll get you back up here.
We'll probably have the certificates after the contest.
Oh, after the contest.
Okay.
Can I interrupt?
Yes, you may, Darlene.
The chief judge needs a timer report from the timer, if she could get that to him somehow or another.
Can I just read it?
No. You
Okay,
can't.
give it to Jan.
Yeah, give it to Jan. No, it's not, I'm sorry, I hope it didn't sound like we were being rude, but. They're,
In a traditional Toastmaster club meeting, we read the times.
yes, we do.
Contests are just a little different.
Yes, it definitely is. Thanks for pointing that out, Roy. It's things that when you're running an international speech contest, higher than a club level, yeah, there's certain requirements that we do have to do. And it's good that you're going to join Toastmasters. I didn't hear Julianne say that she was going to join.
I am already very involved, as I said, in Free Marching Club, so I'll think about it.
But the thing about it is, just because you belong to one club does not mean that you can't join our club. In fact, there are many Toastmasters who belong to 8 or 9 clubs. And they belong because they want to learn how to communicate better, how to articulate what they want to get across. And the reason I encourage Toastmasters is because as a Toastmasters, you learn how to get your way. You really do. You learn how to get your way. If you have a wife or a girlfriend, you learn how to, Toastmasters gives you that capability of, or even with your parents. Maybe you want a new car. Maybe you want a new bike. The most important thing, and I beg the difference to have anybody argue with me, but Toastmasters gives you that capability of having your own way.
Maybe
I
I
can't-
don't want her to
I
do
don't know.
Toastmasters. Just kidding.
I don't know how many times Ed has asked me to do things, and it's because of Toastmasters I can't say no. I don't think he's ever heard me say no. And Ed, if you say yes on that, I'm going to cut you off. See, you have fun in Toastmasters. That's another reason to join, because it's a meeting you not only are entertained, but you learn. And I think we're waiting from Ed. Did both candidates, did both speakers meet them?
Did you receive the timer's report?
No, I haven't gotten anything yet.
Oh.
That's,
Okay,
We were attempting to email it.
Someone
Yes,
who's on Zoom could message it to him, a private message on Zoom. But
Put it in a
Attorney-
chat. Put it in a chat to me privately. It'll go that way. All I need to know is if anybody was disqualified for time.
no, both participants were within time.
All right.
okay.
Disregard on the rest of that. Jim, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. We're ready to go.
Okay.
Okay, we'll be back in a couple of minutes. We're ready to go our next process, or no?
Okay.
Okay, they went out to their room.
Oh, is that where they're at?
Yeah, they're in the,
I wonder-
right, Zoom master, aren't the judges in their room?
The-
So,
that is correct. The judges are.
so Jan, Mary Half Moon should be out there too.
I believe she is.
I had to close this because it was making.
Feedback. Again, we want to thank Wild Horse for giving the prizes. I think that, you know,
And hosting the room.
and hosting the room, which I'm really impressed because as I was telling Roy earlier, that we plan on meeting in the community room in Pendleton, and their setup is really nice. And what I'm thinking about doing, if Roy would close his ears, I'm going to take the camera back there so I can hook it up to the camera in the community room. And I'll just take this with me. I learned in law enforcement, possession is 9/10 of a law. So if you have something in your possession, try to get away from it.
So if it disappears, you all know who to blame.
You know where to go, but try to get a conviction.
Yeah.
All right, okay. And, okay. Boy, I just hate dead silence. Is there anybody in Zoom land? I'm not sure if that's proper to say Zoom land. Madam Zoom Master, is that proper to ask to say Zoom land?
This is Toastmasters. You can say whatever you want to say, as long as you say it correctly.
It would
That's
probably
not
be
true.
more respectful to say those joining us online.
Yes, those joining. Thanks a lot, Deborah, for giving me a tongue twister. Those joining us online, it is so good to see you because we know you are alive, well, and kicking. I am really careful on what I say because even though Darlene's online, I still have to go home and see her. Did you have something to say, Ed?
As far as I know, all results have been sent to
Our ballot?
the ballot counter.
Okay,
I don't have those results, so I guess she's going to announce it.
all right. And my understanding, we will, as soon as we get the ballot counters tally, we will. Well, we always congratulate speakers who want to come in. Ed, did you hear the quote that I said from you? Or did you miss that quote? And
I
was
rarely
wondering-
miss anything. I rarely miss anything you say, but in this case, no, I didn't.
I said that Ed said that you should always have, as a good Toastmaster, you should always have a pocket speech, prepared to give a speech at any time that you're called to do so.
Absolutely.
All right.
There's never an excuse because you can walk out of the house and you have 24 hours in a day to find a subject. I'll guarantee you'll find at least one of something.
I'm waiting for the winners. I'm waiting for the,
Yeah, you're the ballot counter.
yeah, so
Let me write them down, excuse me.
yes, would you please? Would you? Again, online land, online persons, again, just sit in your seats really tight. We're going to have the announcement just as soon as our ballot counter gives those to me. Are you gonna hand them out?
No.
Oh, okay.
The
Okay.
envelope, please.
Oh, okay. Our second place winner for the speech contest. I thought we were gonna have, this is just a participant. Our second place winner, Roy. Congratulations, Roy. And what are we giving him? Oh, boy. Remember the online people when I said that possession's 9/10 of the law? I will be going to a free movie pass. Wow, oh boy. And I enjoy movies, not only once, but twice. And then to have more fun, I will be going to the arcade. And wow, oh boy. Congratulations, Roy. I guess I'll share. Congratulations. Go ahead and stand right over here for a minute. I hope we have someone taking pictures. Yeah, he's fine right there. I hope we have someone taking pictures because this is a big event. Here,
Right.
I do believe they said it was being recorded too. so-
yeah, but that's not as fun as having the actual picture. Okay. Our first place winner. Hey, how about Julianne? Mine's go like, okay, look that way.
What did they get for first?
And she got, oh, well, wait a minute, no, this is mine. Remember possession's 9/10 of the, when you get. That's pretty cool. Quickie, Aspen Lanes. Wow, yeah, well, that's
Never rub
still,
it in my
that's
coworker's
that's
face
still
that
a
I
lot
get
of
to
fun.
roll for
Anyway,
free.
congratulations. So we got pictures, thank you very much. Both of you, congratulations. And then because you participated in the speech contest, We also give you a certificate you can hang on your wall that will be signed by someone important. Congratulations. And also to Roy, congratulations. Thank you very much. It's a real challenge, and you may take your seats now. It's a real challenge for young people to speak. And one thing that I listen for, even as a Toastmasters, I listen for ands, ums, and so's. And the speeches were very interesting. I didn't hear any. And that's really impressive. Those out in online land, those in online land, it's good to see you. Remember, you're still being recorded for sticking out your tongue, young lady. Again, thank you everybody for being here today. Thank you for the judges, the timer, our sergeant at arms, our vote counter, and our judges, and especially our contestants. You make the world go around. Thank you. Another round of applause to our As much as I hate to relinquish the lectern, I'll turn it back over to our acting president, Roy Jones.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. As has been said before by Jim, that Wild Horse sponsored the room, the technology, and the prizes for today's contest. We do plan to host this contest again. This was the first annual Gary Hildebrand Memorial Youth Speech Contest. We plan to have that to be a continuing tradition. We're going to play with the calendar a little bit to see if we might get some more participation if we do it during the school year and different things. So we'll continue to tweak that. Does anyone have any announcements or things to say before we close out our meeting today?
We'd like to thank all of you for participating via Zoom. It's been a pleasure to get to see everybody's faces. This was our first attempt at this. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to email either Roy or myself, and we'll take those into consideration because next year will be bigger and better.
Absolutely. As Toastmasters, we love feedback. We're all about feedback, so please share that. Any other announcements or things to be shared for the good of those assembled? All right, seeing none, this contest is adjourned.